some of these reviews are longer than the book. Okay? Go touch grass. Go find an open field, roll around in it, and become one with the grass. Because you are out of touch. Thank you. That is all. Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome back to my channel. I hope you are having a wonderful, magical, delicious day, week, month, year, the whole shebang. Today, we are going to do something a little fun, a little sassy, and quite frankly, downright mean. We are going to be reading 1-star reviews on some of my favorite books. Will I be deeply offended? Are my feelings going to get hurt? We are going to find out. I'm not usually one that, gets hurt fairly easily. All right, I've got a thick skin, but I do feel like some of these might get me right in the feels. All right, because these are my favorite books. I respect an opinion when it comes to books because they are subjective, and I think that's really what the most magical thing is about reading, is that you can easily find a book that people love, but there are also people that absolutely hate it, right? So just because I love these books doesn't mean everybody else will, okay? And they're wrong, they're absolutely wrong, okay? Because my opinion is the only one that matters. I'm kidding. But no, I totally respect everybody's opinions. I will say this, though. I have noticed, because I do read the reviews right after I finish a book, I hop on Goodreads and I check out what is the bookish community saying about this, okay? I try to see if our vibes are aligning, so to speak. I will say I have seen some reviewers just cross a line, all right? It's one thing to talk about why you hate a book or why you disliked it, but it's another thing to then go in and say that the author should never write another book again, that they should stop what they're doing altogether, and just things like that. I get it. You thought the book was trash. That doesn't mean you need to bring that to the author's doorstep, right? And some of these people even go as far as to tag them on social media. Like, why are you tagging an author in your opinion? Are you their editor? Do you work for the publishing house that the book was published for? No, you don't. You're just another person that read a book that you didn't like. Maybe you didn't comprehend it. Maybe you didn't understand it. But that doesn't mean that you should tell an author to stop doing what they're doing, right? Do people come to your job and tell you that you should probably quit? Yeah. Throw your 2 weeks in and just get out of here. No, they probably don't, right? So what makes you think you have any right to tell somebody else that? That's my only complaint about people's reviews. Otherwise, I think reviews are great. I love them. I love finding out what other people think. Everybody has a different perspective on things they read, and I love that, all right? We're going to get into it with one of my... Oh, wait. Hold the phone, girl. What are we doing? You already know. We must crack a cold one first. Oh, girl, that was dramatic, okay? You need to take it easy, doctor. Dr. Pepper all over my floor now. Like, I thought I was excited to get into this. All right, here we go. One of the first ones that we're going to do is probably an all-time favorite for me. I've read it twice now. Once when it first came out, I want to say in like 2012, and then recently, I think it was last year, I forced the book club that I was in to read it, right? And that is 11/22/63 by the legendary, the brilliant Stephen King. This book is about time travel. It is a historical fiction novel that follows the assassination of JFK and a young man who goes back in time to see if he can stop it. It is political in a sense that you are obviously talking about JFK, but I don't think it got too political, if you know what I mean. And if you're not new here, then you know already that I am not a historical fiction book bestie. That's not me. That's not my lane. That's not my genre. However, this was a 5-star read for me. All right, we are using Goodreads to check all of our reviews today. On Goodreads, 112263 has a 4.34. That's pretty good, all right? I have this thing where I won't say all the time, but sometimes I will go on Goodreads if I'm at like the bookstore, I'm at the library, or I'm at like the thrift store or something and I'm looking for books. I will go on Goodreads and I will see like what is the general consensus here on this. And if it's not like a 3.5 or up, I can't do it. I'm sorry. I can't do it. All right, so 112263 by Stephen King. Let's see what the haters are saying. For fuck's sake. I love that. It's short, it's sweet, it's to the point. I will say this, like just scrolling through some of these, like some of y'all went in depth, okay? If I have to scroll more than 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that is 5 thumb scrolls. That's too much. I'm not reading that, all right? You wrote a novel about a novel that you didn't like, and I can't do that, all right? If it's more than 15,000 words, baby, somebody should be paying you for this, and I really hope they are. Next one, DNFing at 500 pages. That is diabolical. 500 pages, and you realized, you know what? It's not for me. I think it's like, I don't know where, it's on the bottom there. I think it's like only 700 pages. So you got to more than half, and you're like, I quit. I absolutely quit. That's like starting a marathon and getting to the end and just being like, you know what? It's not for me. I don't want to be here. I cannot. 800 plus pages of S. King daydreaming about being a hero. Skip it. First of all, Stephen King is my hero. Okay? Let's just get that right. He is a glorious storyteller. Absolutely love Stephen. This one, DNF. This book is so slow. I tried 3 Stephen King books and I'm just not the biggest fan. Personally, for me, if I read an author, and this might be an unpopular opinion, but if I read an author's book and I do not like that book, and that's rare for me, okay, I do not DNF. It is not in my DNA to be able to DNF a book. I will struggle through that bitch before I put it down, because what if something good happens in the end? The FOMO, it's real. So first of all, I can't even DNF a book, all right? But if I read an author's book and I had to struggle through it, I'm not picking up another one by that author. I'm sorry. I love you. I'm sure there are millions of other people out there that are going to read your books, but it's not going to be me, baby. It's not. I refuse to do that to myself. That's self-inflicted trauma. And I'm not. No, thank you. I will say this. This book is so slow. I think when you're reading a Stephen King book, you have to understand that King is a king of world building, description, just word vomit. And I say that in the best way possible, all right? Because he delivers large ass books, but for a reason. I don't think I've ever read a large book by Stephen and was like, oh my God, like, I was really expecting it to be fast paced. Like, there's no fucking way an 800-page book is going to be fast paced. It's not possible. It's not possible at all. This one I think is the best one. I'd go back in time and save myself from reading this book. I like that one. You win on the bad reviews for that one, because it is a time travel book, all right? So I hope that works out for you. All right, next book on our list is going to be The Invisible Life of Addie, LaRue. It is one of my all-time favorite books by V.E. Schwab, who is an absolute wordsmith. She is a master prose writer. Everything that she does is just chef's kiss. She's an automatic read for me. If I see she's putting something out, I'm automatically grabbing her books, okay? So this one might hurt. This one might hurt a little bit. It has a 4.18 on Goodreads. Which, again, fantastic. I feel like if it has more than 4 stars on Goodreads, are we all lying? Are we all just bullshitting? I don't think so. All right, let's see here. I'm trying to stick to, like I said, I'm trying to stick to the ones that aren't like an entire college thesis paper because we don't have time for all that. This one, I said, fuck it. This book was trash. Worst thing I've ever read. That's harsh. That is harsh. That's saying a lot without saying a lot. There was 0 plot, 0 character development. Plus the characters were all so boring. I mean, all any of them did was complain and complain and complain. It almost sounds like that's what you're doing. Just like shut the fuck up and do something if you're unhappy. You mean like DNF a book that you don't like? Unless you're built like me and you can't, then we will allow it. Okay? And Addie blaming Luke the whole time as if she didn't know he'd trick her. Dumbass. So the premise of Addie LaRue is a girl who makes a deal with a demon to live forever. But he tricks her and she cannot be remembered by anybody that comes in contact with her. So once they leave her presence, they forget who she is, right? So you're living forever, but nobody remembers who you are. Also, don't get me started on the ending because that shit was predictable as fuck. Okay, girl. All right. You said what you needed to say, and I'm so glad that you were perceptive and you can predict the future. That's amazing. That is amazing. Next. I can't believe I'm saying this, but this is the most boring book I've ever read. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for your loss of time. I wish we could get it back for you. All right, next. 9 months of unnecessary pain reading through this. That's a pregnancy. That's a whole pregnancy that it took you to read this. 9 months, they repeat. I applaud myself for finally finishing this. Truly, I am proud of you. I am proud of your commitment to something that you hated, that you spent more than half the year trying to get through. Anything that takes me that long to read, I'm crazy. I'm the crazy one, okay? No, there's absolutely no way. All right, next book on our list is going to be the popular Fourth Wing by the Mother of Dragons herself, Rebecca Yarros. I loved this book. I don't fucking care what anybody has to say about it. I loved it. I loved the second one. I loved the third one. I'm going to love the fourth one. And guess what? I'm going to love the fifth one, all right? Because when it comes to fantasy books for me, at least certain fantasy books, because I do have a couple others on our list, when it comes to fantasy books for me, it's all about the mood. It's about the vibe, all right? The world building, somebody is literally pulling this out of their fucking brain and giving me an entire place that doesn't exist. If there's a couple plot holes here and there, I didn't see them. I don't know what you're talking about, all right? I'm just here living in the moment, okay? And so that's what I do. When I go into fantasy books, my mind is completely open to it. I am ready. Immerse me in this world that I have never been in. If there's a few mistakes, all right, good for them. I don't know her. So Fourth Wing, let's get into it. It has a 4.58 on Goodreads. That's over 4.5 stars. We're not all wrong. There are 2.7 million ratings on this book. I know almost 3 million of us ain't stupid. I know that. All right. 1 star. Reread. So I could give this book the 1 star it truly deserves. You reread this? You hated it the first time, but you reread it a second time to confirm the hatred. Okay. That is a whole new level of commitment. Oh my God. Absolutely cancerous. Oh my gosh. Like, just say that a dragon wouldn't pick you. Just say that. It's okay. It's okay. Threshing is not successful for all of us. And definitely not you. Definitely not you. No. I so could take a guy named Zayden in a fight. Oh, man. I'm okay. Maybe Zayden by himself, but baby, them shadows come out and you're done. You're done for. That's it, and that's all. Okay? No. I think I could make a whole video just reading Fourth Wing 1-star reviews. This one might contain a spoiler, okay? So if you haven't read the series yet, go ahead and skip like a couple seconds ahead. When the D is so good that you're electrocuting the room and setting the curtains on fire. I know that's right. Yes, grade A, D. But why did you give it 1 star? I'm sorry, what more did you want, baby? We got natural disasters going on here and you're giving this 1 star? Make it make sense. All right, next one. What? No, I think some of these people got confused. This one. Zayden could spit on me, and I would ask him to do it again. You would let this man spit on you twice, but you're only going to give this 1 star? Something ain't right here. Nope, the math, not mathing. That is crazy. Oh, God. Again, though, some of these reviews, I feel like they're like 5 pages long. Like, I can't imagine hating something so bad to where I want to spend more time thinking about it. It just makes no sense to me. All right, next book on our list is Blood Over Brighthaven by M.L. Wang. I am obsessed with this book. I just finished it. I think it was like the last book I finished. And I fear I will not recover from this book. It is a dark academia, thriller, fantasy book. And it is perfection. And again, remember I said, fantasy books, there might be a loophole or a plot hole or whatever. But guess what? I didn't fall into it. I didn't. I just kept walking. I kept walking and I kept enjoying the little story that the author was telling me. And this one, I absolutely ate the fuck up. All right. I was sapped since chapter 1 of this book. It is about a utopian city called Tyrion where they are protected from this outside evil force called the Blight. There is a complex magic system. And when I say complex, I mean it's complex. Okay. There's a glossary in the back to describe it all for you. So it's a little less confusing. Love that. And it follows I don't want to say wizard because she's not a wizard. This isn't Harry Potter, but it follows a woman who is trying to test into the highest rank of their magical community, and that is called a high mage. As she is testing and going through all of this, there are secrets that are being revealed about their quaint little safe haven city, and it is just amazing. M.L. Wang did a really good job of exploring and discussing very heavy topics like colonialism, racism, misogyny, sexism, exploitation, privilege, power. The list goes on, and I know it feels like that might be too much. I'm trying to escape in my books, but it's done so well. Loved it. And nobody will convince me otherwise. Let's see what the haters are saying. Biggest disappointment of this year. Well, baby, it's early, all right? It is early. It's only March. You've got a lot more year to go. I did love the end, though, they said. You 1 star, but you love the end? That you can't describe something as loving it and giving it 1 star. I'm sorry. You can't. That's not fair. Next one. DNF at 73%. You were so close. You were so close. Why? That's like a squirrel running across the street and getting almost to the end, and then your car's coming up to you and you're like, what are you going to do? What are you going to do, buddy? And the squirrel decides to take it back the other way. No. The shenanigans, cut it out. I can't. Literally was having headaches every time I had to get back to it. That sounds medical. And I don't know. I don't know if it's the book or maybe you should seek some type of doctor for this, but that doesn't sound good. And upon reading the less than 5 stars ratings in this app, I saw my feelings written out and I thought it really wasn't worth the pain. I hope their headaches are better. I do. I really do. And if not, then like I said, you should seek help. So I'm giving up. Quitter. Fucking quitter. All right. The type of book that I'll forget within 10 minutes after finishing. That being the only positive aspect here. Okay, first of all, I'm never going to shut up about this book. Okay, so good for you for being able to forget it in 10 minutes. No, never. No, thank you. My goal in life is to forget I ever read this. I hope that works out for you. I really do. Oh my God. The one, they couldn't have finished this because at the bottom here it says the read from date and it's the same day. It's the same day. Did you power read through this? Granted, it is only like a 400 plus page fantasy and it is a standalone, but still, I don't trust you. I don't trust your opinion. As much as you don't trust booktok recommendations, I don't trust you. All right, next book on our list is another absolute favorite. All of these are favorites, obviously, because they're 5-star plus reads for me. But this one is The Grace Year by Ligget, and it is a dystopian Handmaid's Tale, Hunger Games, Lord of the Flies type of vibe. I, once again, loved this. I am a dystopian nut. I love a good, just world is crumbling, here's what we're left with, figure it out type of situation. And The Grace Year is all about this civilization that believes girls have this magic where it makes the boys act a certain way and makes other women act a certain way. And so what they do is they take these girls and they throw them off into this separate area for a year. They let these 16-year-old girls go off for a year by themselves to figure shit out and to expel this so-called magic so that way they can come back pure for their husbands. The root of this book is very misogynistic, okay? I will say that. Let's see what they're saying. This book is bad. To begin with, the society is cartoonishly misogynistic. Like women can't even hum without being accused of hiding magic, which is a crime punishable by death. I have thoughts about making misogynistic dystopias this over the top, but suffice it to say that it's so extreme, it would be funny if it weren't irritating. Not to take this serious on a serious note, but I will say that I think it's this willful ignorance toward what could possibly happen that makes these things actually possible to happen, right? And if you've ever watched I've never read the Handmaid's Tale book. I have, however, seen the TV show, and it was that ignorance that actually made it possible to happen. And I don't know if you've watched any episodes lately on what the fuck's happening in America, but we should never take those types of things as a joke. When they start happening and you don't stand up to it and you don't say, wait a minute, what the fuck? No, I can't get behind this. That just doesn't, no. When you don't stand up and fight against that, you become a part of the people that are just being complacent. Don't. Absolutely not. When I read a book about misogyny, and this one does have quite a bit of internalized misogyny within the female characters, I rage. My body Like, I can't even handle reading about it because it just infuriates me so much. And so when it starts playing out in the real world, you'll never find me like, oh, that is so over the top. That could never happen. Bitch, it could. Okay? It could. There was a time in history when we couldn't even wear pants. All right? Pants. No. It could happen. And maybe that's just the conspiracy theorist in me, but no, ma'am. All right. Enough of that. Back to the good vibes, because we've got enough stale energy circulating within these reviews. This. Why can't I give 0 stars? This is absolute garbage. To the end, which I know because I hate red until I got there. That is devotion. You are devoted to this book. Why can't someone actually write a book that holds women up, empowers them, and lets them actually change and be friends and not be catty? Probably because the whole plot of this book was the misogyny within the civilization and what they were doing and how they were treating women. If you want a book about empowerment and books that actually hold women up, they're out there. They're out there. This book, though, that wasn't what it was about. No, that's probably why you didn't like it. Yeah. I can't believe that this drivel was published. Absolute garbage. All caps. Who thought this was a good idea? I did. Lord of the Flies and the Crucible with a non-plausible ending. Okay, first of all, we are going to put some respect on Lord of the Flies and the Crucible. Both absolute great literature. I am so mad. Garbage. Okay, I'm sorry for you, I guess. I mean, you missed the whole point of the book, so I understand why you might be a little upset. Okay, you might be a little upset. Oh, we're getting a little violent, a little aggressive here. I think I would much rather get stabbed than read this book again. I would hope you don't do that to yourself. Either stabbing or reading this again if it was that bad for you. I don't want you to cause yourself any more pain than necessary. Next. Well, I'm glad that's over. Yeah. I didn't want it to end, quite frankly. I feel like we could have gone on to have like a second and a third book. That's how intrigued I was by this world that Kim Ligget built. But you know what? It's not for everybody. And I respect that. I respect that. Next, what was the point? Oh, we have an edit. Who gave this 5 stars? Who are you? What are you doing? It's me. I'm the problem. It's me. All right, next book on our list, and I know this one's going to have another controversy. I could probably do another full video of just reading the reviews on this one, and that is A Court of Silver Flames. That is it's technically book 4. I consider it book 5, even if she did give us a pamphlet in between the last 2. But it's technically book 4 of the ACOSF series by, of course, Sarah J. Maas. And this one has 4.46 on Goodreads. So, again, are we all just collectively stupid? Maybe. Well, it's a little late to come to that game, girl. She says, I'm not going to continue this series. You've literally just read 4.5 books. What? It took you that long to realize, like, you know what? This one's not for me. I really think there's only 1 book left. There might be 2. I don't know. But girl, really? It took you that long? It's okay. Next one. This book was shit. All right. The comment on here, her previous one sucked too. If you did not like... Okay, I can't even say it because I understand it. I understand it, and it's the reason why I can't DNF a book. But that's a book, right? If the series starts off that bad for you, and it takes you 4 books to realize that you hate it, Why'd you do that to yourself? Why didn't you just go outside and touch grass? Makes no sense. Makes no sense. Oh my gosh. Is she not embarrassed? This is really embarrassing. Why? 50 Shades of Fairy. If you're looking for fairy erotica, maybe you'll like it. I don't know. I mean, where were you for the first 3 books, girlfriend? Because let me tell you, okay, just because Cassian made her hold the headboard for the first time, don't mean that Rhysand wasn't out here just getting it in. Because he was. All right? They were. All right? Fair had herself two men of the high courts. I'm just saying. So no, we are not embarrassed. Not in the slightest, least little bit. We are normalizing women's sexuality, all right? And if that means we want a fairy daddy to fuck the shit out of us, I said what I said. I said what I said, Alicia. All right. What's worse? 1, writing fairy porn and dedicating it to your husband, dog, and 2-year-old toddler? Or 2, the fact that I'll probably read number 5. I know that's right. Yes. Do I find it a little weird that she dedicated this to her child, husband, dog? Yes and no. All right. Give it up for the Pham Bam. Got to thank the ones that are supporting you. Fairy porn. I love when they call it that. Like, it's just sex. It's just sex. Ooh. It's so scary. Like, what are you doing at home? Nothing? Just say that. Just say that. Just say it's dry. This one literally, I wish I could show you guys. This one literally just says, anyway. Like, I'm sorry. You read all that and that's it? That's it? I guess it's better than some of these people writing a dissertation on why they hated it, okay? We'll allow it. All right, last one on the list is one of my favorite thrillers, and that is The Only One Left by Riley Sager. Riley is another one of those just auto-read. All right, I will automatically read them, not because I necessarily think that they're absolute literature masterpieces, but because they're fun, they're easy. He throws in a shit ton of plot twists, and I just love that vibe. All right, The Only One Left, it's been a little bit since I read it, but it follows a woman who becomes a caretaker at this, like, house on the frickin' hill, basically, and the secrets of the sisters that live there start to unravel, and let me tell you, shit gets crazy. It gets absolutely crazy. And that's why I loved it. It was like on the edge of your seat, nail biting, kept me hooked from the beginning to end. No. Even if this book was the only one left, I still wouldn't recommend reading it. I'm sorry to hear that. I'm really sorry to hear that because I loved it. Ooh. Oh my goodness. Hate. I think they hated this book. I'd write a review, but in all honesty, I never want to think about this book ever again. I respect that. All right, I respect you saying, you know what? I am breaking this generational curse and I am not going to continue on with it. No, I'm not even giving it a review. I love that. I love that a lot. What in the fuck was the last 150 pages of this book? I have whiplash and a migraine. Okay, first of all, that's a thriller. All right, the last 100, 150 pages, you're going 0 to 100 real quick. Okay? And especially, yeah, because it's not especially. It's like people saying espresso, right? Oh, God. Shame. I'm embarrassed for myself. My soul just folded in half. Especially Riley Sager books, all right? And this one in particular, up until the last damn page, you don't know what the fuck's going on. You don't. And that's what made it good. That's what made it good, Emma. I can't believe I wasted my precious time reading this when there are so many great books out there. I agree. I agree with you. But if you are looking for a ridiculous thriller, I have read worse. That's reassuring. I feel like that's at least 2 stars. Okay, if you've read worse, 2 stars. Okay, but no, you gave it 1. You gave it 1. This was bad. I am fully convinced that Riley Sager wrote every possible ending to this book and then decided to just include all of them instead. Touché. I see where you're coming from. The twists just kept flying, and not in a good way. Riley has done me dirty too many times. Again, why, if you've experienced this type of hurt and this type of pain, why are you subjecting yourself to this again? It's like getting hit by a car and then going in the street and expecting the same thing not to happen. Hello? Hello? No. Immediately no. The comment, proud of you for finishing it, though. I am too. I am very proud of you for finishing it. All right? I give you that. Oh my God. Some of these I could literally spend all day reading. I could. Because like I said, I love seeing what other people's opinions are on books. Especially ones that I love. I'm like, one of us is wrong, right? And it's not me. So, what happened? Did we read the same book? Was your setting good? Were you in a good spot? Did you have a beverage? Did you have a little candle going? Did you set the mood? I don't think you did. I don't think you did. And that happens sometimes. It happens. Do I think some of these reviewers need to go find an open field and roll around in the grass? Not even just touch the grass. I want you to become one with it because you are so out of touch with reality. Yes. Absolutely. Yes. Thankfully, most of ours, they were hilarious. I loved this. I wasn't sure what was going to happen. I thought maybe my feelings were going to get really hurt. They didn't. I feel great. I feel fine. I will reread every one of these. Okay? I will. And I have already. Okay? So don't threaten me with a good time. Don't do it. Because I will. That was fun. I feel like this is something we're going to have to do again. I almost would like to see books that... See, I couldn't even do that because there aren't any books that I genuinely am like, oh my God, I hate this. I can't think of any single book, and I've had a couple of books this year already that I was just like struggling to get through, but they weren't like absolutely just horrific, right? So I don't even think I could read 5-star reviews for books that I hated. Although I think that would be funny. Like, are you sure? Are you sure you liked it? No, there's no way. Yeah, I don't think I can do that one. But I think I will definitely have to do this again. I'm intrigued to see, especially the more popular, like trending books, like The Fourth Wing and the ACOSF series. I am intrigued to see what else people are saying. Like even like the 2-star reviews, I think would be pretty hilarious. And I just think that happens when you do have books that blow up and they end up falling under this like overhyped category. But the truth of the matter is this, is that not every book is for every person. And that is totally okay, right? That's fine. There are some books out there that I'm probably never going to pick up. And yet there are millions of people out there raving about it. If you loved any of the books that we talked about today, you already know what to do. Also, if you have any book recommendations for me, make sure my TBR doesn't hear me say that. Let me know, all right? Because I'm always adding to it. She hates to see me coming. But yeah, that is going to be it from me today in our video. If you loved the vibes of what we were doing, make sure you like this video. Do not forget to subscribe to my channel. That way we can stay connected and we can yap about these books, besties. All right, y'all. I love you and happy reading.